between the parties involved. And this is something that is sometimes is at least in terms of social sciences, sometimes is almost invisible because mostly informal. For example, when you have a decision of the academic senate, probably you had before the decision a lot of discussion among the parties, something very informal, a lot of informal meeting, jokes, and every kind of. And this takes time. This produces effects that at the end are not clear, and probably there are no traces, footprint of this process, negotiation process, apart from the memory of the people involved, because when you make an informal meeting between parties in an academic senate, you are not taking minutes or it's informal, and so on. And for example, the people that are new to a certain approach, for example on gender, maybe sometimes a lot of time is needed in order to promote a deeper understanding of some issues, of the relevance of some issues. It's not something that you can decide issuing a formal document, a new statement by the university on gender, and then people change their mind. So it's a kind of process that is very relevant in order to produce changes in organization. That's the reason why we put it, and it's it's a twin of conflicts. Once you have conflict, you have also negotiation for solving the conflict. Maybe the conflict find no solution, but maybe yes. In this case, a negotiation took place. So the problem is to detect if you want to understand how things happen, you have to detect this negotiation and know who are the actor, who are the mediator, etc., etc. That's the it's a very micro concept. It's very useful, especially at the macro level within an organization, for example. I don't know if in a certain sense, probably your meeting, the dialogue you have been proposing in your project have been a form of negotiation between actors at a more higher level, not so much a level within organization.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that makes perfect sense to me now. Interesting. Because I was just now I understand the other aspects as well, but I was just curious because of the notion of negotiation also, because usually I would use deliberation, but you are quite right that negotiation with all these implications of business is much better term when we talk about these more conflictive issues that we talked so much about in this Skype conference, and that's very interesting. I just had I even have an idea for a little paper immediately, because it's quite interesting. By the way, if you are planning some publication on your work in this project, I would be very interested to in the submission for my journal. So I don't know if you know that I always try to explain to everyone that my journal is called Nanoethics, but it does not need to be about ethics and does not need to be about nano. It's all kinds of studies of new and emerging technologies, and we did a lot of studies on biological sciences. A lot of articles in synthetic biology are in it, and very several ones. And we are also publishing a lot of work on socioeconomic issues as well. So it sounds as if it's only about ethics and nanotechnology, but in fact now Springer even will move the journal to a group of journals which all deal with technology issues.
Uh-huh.
If you are interested, I don't know what will come out of your project, but if you're
Well, of course, it's well. We are going to produce some guidelines on these issues, and I would ask you for sure, we will ask you to, when we will have a product of these guidelines, we will circulate among experts to have some opinion and suggestion on how to change.
we'll be happy to answer.
And we will do that. And of course, as soon as possible, we will produce some publication, and we will, for example, a colleague of mine is taking her doctoral is discussing her doctoral dissertation on nutrition, and she's using the concept of RR&I and the concept of exosome, etc. This could be, for example, something that could be interesting for your review. I can tell her, because it's of course she is a biologist, so it's very technical and there's something to do with RNA, but there are also some aspects that could be of relevance also for you. So that's for sure. We will be in touch on this, and of course we will make you know something about our guidelines and also the further initiatives of the project. And I will give your contact to my people, to our colleagues in the communication, so you will be updated. It will be very good to keep in touch. Of course, we did not talk of the class issue that we have been talking about, you remember, in Brussels, because it's very interesting, the fact that public engagement risks to be something that is more practiced by middle class people more than
I see.
and
it's also an interesting topic. So I'm going to present, hopefully, on one or two conferences on this topic. So maybe we can let's keep in touch. So I can also, I don't know. You're at the university in Rome, right?
University Tor Vergata.
So I can also, in order to, if we are interested to broaden our exchange, I can also come, sometimes I can come with my own funding and give a talk. I only need an invitation. So if there's something, then we could make more plans, or the other way around. We could, if you have some interesting research, we could invite you. I cannot promise any kind of on the basis of the money. I even can check this if you have something to talk which would be interesting for the entire institute of us, for entire ETIS. But maybe we can continue our exchange, and then we can also discuss about this RI and the social question as I go.
No, it's interesting, because one of the colleagues that is working in implementing our action plan in Rome. She's not a biologist. She's an anthropologist, and she works for the biology department, and she's promoting an enlargement of the activities for education of children and people in the school. What makes it interesting is that University of Tor Vergata is completely in the middle of a very once we would have say